Welcome everyone to the demo Frontend video. This is a series of video about the demonstration of ASP.NET Boilerplate. And moving on the previous videos we've been talking about the backend, the features on the backend. Also, we've been talking about why do you need a Swag, features on the front end. And in this video, we're going to be implementing a demo on the front end side of things. So some of the technologies that you're going to be seeing is authorization and authentication, the NSWAG, the JWT bearer token as well. So what are we going to be doing today? So today we're going to connect to the previous backend that we did. If you haven't watched the video, go and watch it. Spin up that version of the backend. And then second, you're going to start the Angular project and then gonna see the user interface, the role interfaces, the user interface. We're gonna update NSWAG to generate a new proxy class, a proxy entity. Then we're gonna add the create, read, update, and delete files. And then we're gonna add the student ng module. We're gonna add the routing and student to the routing of the application, the Angular application. And then also we're gonna add the student to the menu. I'm gonna be using Control P on my Mac, but you can use Control P on Windows. For me to get this a little bit better readable, I'm gonna switch to a different view here. Okay, so the first step again, I'm gonna connect to the previous. For that, you can just clone this repository first before we need to spin up a database, right? Before we can start up the backend. So therefore, let's focus on this Docker file that we have in here. So, okay, so you can see the file here. Again, it's taking these values from the EMB file, so therefore I need EMB file. So you have a sample of the EMB file as well here. So you have a sample there. So you can copy and paste and create your own password for this one. I already have on a different virtual machine that I have. So let's do SSH into the main test. And then I'm gonna do cd into SQL. Postgre, and then let's say cat docker compose, so you can see it's the same docker compose, and then cat.emb. For me, it's gonna be those passwords. So I'm gonna do docker compose up -d. So we can see that it's up and running by doing docker compose ps. So you can see that we have on the port number for the Postgre container, we have 5432. And then for the pgadmin, it's going to be 5050. So let's go and see if we have the pgadmin here. So I'm going to take my admin, pgadmin. And then the password as well. So first thing that we're going to do is add a new connection. Let's see, local server v2, and then we're gonna take the Postgre user and the password. See the password here. So we know the IP address is 192.168.22.101, and then the password, you know, it's the password same. We have the username, which is Postgre as well. We have the password, the username is Postgre, and then we have the password here, and we're gonna save the password here, save it, and then we have this one. We can see the previous database, let's say the v2 here. Okay, the tables in there. They have the student that we created in the previous video. So after that tutorial here, so for that I do the docker compose up, and then I need to go to this project. I need to start this project here. So for me, .NET run. So it's saying that I can find it in the localhost 44311. Just gonna be this one. Okay, there you go. I have my Swagger page up and running. Install the Angular project. So for that, I'm going to go to cd into the Angular. And then for that, I need to update the file here. So this will look like without HTTPS, this one, the backend. Remember, the backend doesn't have the S in there. Okay, so I save it and then close that file. And then I'm gonna do yarn install. Okay, so after that, we're gonna do yarn start. It says that it's listening on the port 4200. So I'm gonna go to this one. So you have to log in. Let me log in with the username that it's here, admin and 123. Okay, admin. So after that, we can see the users. I can edit the user, and I can as well add it to a role, right? And then also I can edit the role, add the description there, and I can add permissions to that roles. This user permission is coming from the backend, from the previous project that we did. Moving on, I will back to our instructions here. So we already viewed the user feature, the user and the user roles. We already viewed those website, web page. Now let's try to update the NSWAG. So I'm gonna be stopping the project. So for me, okay. So the project stop. And then I'm going to go to this. So you can see here that we're looking to change the HTTPS. Remember, we are doing without HTTP, right? So save it. And then for me, this is going to be looking like this. And to update the proxy definitions, I'm going to go to NSWAG folder. And I need to run this file here. So it says here that executing the file, it's done, the duration is this one. Let's see now the updated file. It should be this one. For me, I'm going to go click here and I'm going to check the changes on that file. For example, service proxy, and we can see that this file, this class was added here, student service proxy. Okay, and then also this one was added here. I create DTO, and those DTOs were created here. So we can see that those DTOs and the student DTO, we have as well the update DTO, student DTO. So all of that was added to our service proxies class. So for that, because of that, we need to add the new class, the API student proxy, to this other module, to this other file, which is here. So we're gonna be adding this here, save it, and then I'll go back to see if my project is able to compile. You know, for me to do that, I'm gonna be doing yarn run start. So we can see that the project is able to compile. Moving on, let's talk about the step number 6, adding the CRUD files. So what does it mean is that we need to add the create, update, read, and delete files for my new entity student. I need to add those to the project. So for me to do that, I would encourage you to take the files from the roles folder inside the application and just to find and replace, and the file names as well, change it to your new entity. It's going to be a student in this case, But for me, I already have those files, and I'm gonna be copying and pasting from a specific folder here, okay? So I'm gonna be adding those files, okay? Again, those files are original from the roles folder. So I'm gonna be taking it from the project B2 original one. We are working on the B3. I'm gonna copy from the B2. So now we have the app students. I'm gonna close that. Moving on, we have to check if our application compiles again, but I already have the application running. By the way, it haven't done anything because those files haven't been added to the ng module. So once I add it to the ng module, it will try to compile those new files. So let's try to do that. The step 7, we're gonna be adding to the ng module. So for me to do that, I have to go to this file. And then for the imports, I'm gonna take a copy from here. And then I have to add this to the declaration. You see, right after we paste it in there, it'll try to compile. So you see it's inside declarations. And right there, it just compiled successfully. Now close that file. And then the next file is student routing. So for me to access the new student entity, I need to add a route where I can see and display that new page that I created, a new module. So for me, I'm gonna first go to this file and then need to add the import line. And then on the router module for child, okay, save it. You can see that it's inside the router module dot for child, inside the children here, students. Again, the project is being compiled automatically. Then let's add the menu for the student. For me to do that, I'm gonna go to this file. And on the get menu items, which is going to be this get menu items, I'm gonna click and add it to the last line here of the items and then save it. And then you'll see that we are able to see students there. If I click a student, if I try to add a new student, you see the pairs, or if I try to, hey, this one is gonna be deactivated, or I can edit this one, so on and so forth, or I can just delete the one that I just added. So you can see that we have create, update, read, and delete. So moving on to our presentation, we can see that on the step 9, we just added the student menu. We already see that we can access the create, update, read, and delete for the student. Thank you very much for watching this video, taking your time to watch it. For the next video, we're gonna create a automatically generator, a generator that is gonna be adding those files automatically and generating those files properties and different functionality based on the entity that is defined on the backend using C# code. We define an entity, and from that entity, we just create the create, update, and delete on the backend, create, update, and delete on the front end as well, and create the permissions as well using a single command with a code generator. That's gonna be it for this video. Stay tuned. See you next time.